For 3 minutes and 47 seconds, my heart stopped beating. No brain activity, no pulse, nothing. I am Dr. Sarah Martinez, a neurosurgeon who has spent 15 years studying the human brain, and I've always been a person of science. I never believed in those near-death experience stories until I became one myself. But what I experienced during those few minutes changed everything. I thought I knew about life, death, and what's coming in September 2025. Jesus himself showed me things that will shake the foundation of everything we think we understand about our world. What happened to me was real, and it's going to change your life forever. It started like any normal Tuesday morning. I was preparing for a complex brain surgery when suddenly, everything went black. The last thing I remember was the sharp pain in my chest, the frantic voices of my colleagues, and then silence. The darkness began to dissipate. It was like someone had turned on a light, but not any ordinary light. This was different, alive, vibrant, pulsing with an energy I had never encountered. As a neurosurgeon, I understand the brain's electrical patterns, but this was something beyond any scientific explanation I could comprehend. Then I saw him. Jesus stood before me, and his presence was so majestic, so overwhelming, that every fiber of my being knew instantly who he was. My heart knew, without any doubt, it was Jesus. His eyes looked at me with a love so profound it pierced every layer of my being, seeing every secret, every shame, every fear I had ever carried. But here's what shocked me the most. He wasn't there to judge me. He was there to show me something urgent about our immediate future. Sarah. His voice resonated through my very soul. I need you to see what's coming. In that instant, my entire life passed before me, but not in the way people usually describe life reviews. This wasn't a linear sequence of events. Everything was interconnected, like a hologram where every moment existed simultaneously. Imagine looking at a vast tapestry where every thread touches every other thread. That's what my life became in that moment. I saw my childhood, the abandonment by my mother, the years of resentment toward my father, every patient I had saved, every life I had lost on the operating table. Each memory wasn't just a scene. It was alive, pulsing with meaning I had never understood. But more importantly, I saw the connections, how every experience, every choice, every moment of pain had been preparing me for this very encounter. The surgical precision I had developed, the logical mind I had cultivated, the skepticism that had protected me from false beliefs. It was all preparation for this moment when I would need to share something that defies logic but demands to be told. Jesus showed me that September 2025 isn't just another month on the calendar. It's a cosmic turning point that has been prophesied for thousands of years. The celestial alignments, the spiritual awakening happening across the globe, the increasing division between light and darkness. It's all leading to what he called the Great Revealing. "Look closer, Sarah," he said. And suddenly I could see beyond the veil of our physical reality. What I witnessed next defied every scientific principle I had ever learned. 3 days unlike anything humanity has ever experienced. Not a natural disaster or human conflict, but something far more profound. A spiritual phenomenon that will separate those who have prepared their hearts from those who have hardened them against divine truth. Think of it like this. Imagine if every person on Earth suddenly had to stand in front of the most powerful X-ray machine ever created, but instead of seeing bones, it revealed the true condition of their soul. The vision was so vivid, so overwhelmingly real, that tears streamed down my face. Though I realized I no longer had a physical face to cry with, I was experiencing emotions and sensations beyond the limitations of flesh and blood. The love I felt was indescribable, a whirlwind of pure acceptance and divine purpose that made every earthly pleasure seem like a shadow in comparison. Picture the warmest embrace you've ever received. Multiply it by infinity, and you're still not close to what I experienced. It was love without conditions, without judgment, without limits. But then Jesus showed me something that filled me with both awe and urgency. What he revealed next will change how you see everything that's happening in our world right now. He revealed specific dates, specific events, and specific signs that would precede what he called the 3 days of total darkness. Not physical darkness, but a spiritual separation where those who have chosen to reject divine love will experience the absence of God's presence entirely. September 23rd, he said, his voice carrying the weight of eternity, marks the beginning of the final preparation period. I saw how this cosmic event wasn't about punishment or judgment in the way most people think. It was about choice, the ultimate choice between embracing divine love or rejecting it completely. And I saw how this choice would become unmistakably clear to every person on Earth during those 3 days. The most incredible part wasn't just seeing these future events, but understanding my role in preparing people for what's coming. Jesus explained that my medical background, my scientific training, and even my initial skepticism were all part of his plan. He needed someone who couldn't be dismissed as just another religious fanatic. Someone with credentials, with logic, with a reputation for critical thinking. I chose you precisely because of your scientific mind, he told me. People need to hear this from someone they can't easily dismiss. As the vision continued, I witnessed the transformation that would occur during those 3 days. I saw people who had been living in spiritual darkness suddenly awakening to divine truth. I saw hardened hearts melting under the overwhelming reality of God's love. It was like watching ice cubes dropped into boiling water. Some hearts dissolved instantly into pure love, while others seemed to crystallize even harder, becoming impenetrable. But I also saw others, those who had completely closed themselves off to spiritual truth, experiencing a separation so profound it defied description. The cosmic events surrounding September 2025 aren't random. Every solar flare, every planetary alignment, every spiritual awakening happening right now is part of a divine orchestration that has been planned since the foundation of the world. Jesus showed me how even the increasing polarization in our society, the technological advances, and the global conflicts are all serving a higher purpose in preparing humanity for this cosmic shift. But Sarah, Jesus continued, his eyes filled with both love and urgency, many are not prepared. They're living as if nothing is changing, as if these signs don't matter. They need to understand what's really happening. I felt overwhelmed by the magnitude of what he was asking me to share. How could I, a surgeon who deals in facts and evidence, convince people of something so extraordinary? How could I make them understand that this isn't about religion as they know it, but about the very fabric of reality itself being transformed? You won't convince them through arguments, Jesus explained, reading my thoughts. You'll share your experience, and my spirit will confirm the truth in their hearts. Those who are ready will recognize the truth. Those who aren't, well, they still have time to choose. The vision shifted, and I saw myself back in the hospital room, surrounded by my colleagues who were desperately trying to revive me. But I also saw the ripple effect of this experience, how sharing this testimony would reach exactly the people who needed to hear it at exactly the right time. The coming darkness isn't something to fear, Jesus assured me. For those who choose love, those 3 days will be the most beautiful, transformative experience of their existence. They'll experience my presence in a way that removes all doubt, all fear, all separation. It will be like being born again, but on a cosmic scale. I realized that my death wasn't an accident or a medical emergency. It was an appointment, a divine appointment where I would receive the most important message of my life, and perhaps of human history. But then Jesus showed me something that changed everything I thought I understood about the timing and nature of these coming events. Suddenly, the peaceful vision darkened, not with evil, but with the weight of absolute truth. "What you've seen so far is just the beginning, Sarah," he said, his expression becoming more serious. "The real revelation comes when you understand the true nature of the darkness that's coming, and why these 3 days are absolutely necessary for humanity's survival. It's like being told you're about to experience a gentle rain, only to discover it's actually the calm before a complete transformation of the atmospheric system itself." As I prepared to see this deeper truth, everything around us began to shift and change, and I knew that what he was about to reveal would be more shocking than anything I had witnessed so far. The cosmic forces at work weren't just spiritual. They were battling for the very soul of humanity itself, and September 2025 was the moment when this battle would reach its climax. But what I saw next, what Jesus revealed about the true enemy we're facing, and the specific timeline of events that would unfold, that changed everything I thought I knew about the nature of good and evil in our world. The vision was about to show me the darkest truth of all, and why these 3 days of separation weren't just necessary, but urgent. Because what's coming after September 2025 makes those 3 days look like a gentle preparation for something far more profound and world-changing. And friends, what I witnessed in that moment will shake you to your core, just as it shook mine. Because what he showed me next will shock you to your core. As Jesus continued speaking, his voice became more urgent, more intense. The weight of what he was revealing pressed down on me like a divine burden I was meant to carry and share with the world. "Listen carefully," he said, his eyes penetrating every layer of my being. "What I am about to tell you must reach those who have ears to hear. The 72 hours I speak of will begin on September 23rd, at the moment when Rosh Hashanah commences. This is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration." I felt my heart racing as he continued, each word burning itself into my memory. "The geomagnetic storms you witnessed in your realm are not merely natural phenomena. They are my instruments, cosmic forces aligned to fulfill ancient prophecies. The very fabric of your electromagnetic reality will be disrupted, and in that disruption, truth will be revealed." My hands were trembling as I absorbed every detail. Jesus then showed me something that shook me to my core. "South Africa," he said, and suddenly I could see the continent as if from space, glowing with a protective light. "This land will be spared from the initial wave. It has been chosen as a refuge, a place where my faithful will gather and witness what unfolds." The vision expanded and I saw people from around the world, their faces filled with both fear and hope, journeying toward this sanctuary. "Why South Africa?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "Because," Jesus replied, "it is written, 'The last shall be first, and from the ends of the earth my light will shine brightest.' Those who seek refuge there during these 72 hours will experience divine protection, but they must arrive with pure hearts and genuine faith." Then came the part that nearly overwhelmed me completely. Jesus began describing the exact timeline. "And friends, what I'm about to share with you could save your spiritual life. Hour 1 to 24, he said. "The electromagnetic disruptions will begin subtly. Technology will falter, but most will dismiss it as temporary glitches. This is the window of mercy, the time for final preparation." I watched in the vision as power grids flickered, satellites lost connection, and communication systems experienced mysterious failures. It was like watching the world's electrical nervous system having a gentle seizure. Noticeable, but not alarming enough to panic most people. But there was something else. Something beautiful. During these first 24 hours, people who had been spiritually seeking would experience sudden clarity, visions, and divine encounters. "Hours 25 to 48, Jesus continued, and his expression grew more serious. "The separation will become visible. Those who have chosen light will begin to physically glow with an inner radiance. Those who have chosen darkness will experience increasing spiritual oppression." The vision showed me families divided, not by choice, but by the very essence of their spiritual condition becoming manifest. It was like watching people reveal their true selves under a spiritual blacklight. What was hidden became visible. It was heartbreaking and magnificent at the same time. Children with pure hearts were shining like little angels, while adults consumed by materialism and hatred appeared increasingly shadowed. And in the final 24 hours, Jesus said, his voice now carrying the weight of eternity, the great revealing will complete itself. The veil between dimensions will become thin, and every soul will see clearly their choices, their destiny, their eternal condition. I saw people falling to their knees in worship, others fleeing in terror from a truth they could no longer deny. The separation wasn't God's judgment. It was simply the natural result of choices that had been building for lifetimes. But then Jesus showed me something that filled my heart with hope. Throughout all 72 hours, there would be continuous opportunities for repentance, for turning toward the light, even in the final moments, he said. A sincere heart can still choose love over fear, truth over deception. What should people do? I asked, desperate to understand how to help others prepare. Jesus looked at me with such compassion that tears streamed down my face. His gaze felt like warm sunlight penetrating every dark corner of my soul. Tell them to examine their hearts now. Tell them to forgive themselves and others. Tell them to release attachment to material possessions and embrace spiritual wealth. Tell them to pray not for escape, but for truth and courage. He then gave me specific instructions that I know will sound incredible, but I must share them exactly as he gave them to me. Those who wish to be protected should fast for 3 days before September 23rd, not to earn salvation, but to purify their spiritual receptivity. They should spend time in nature, disconnected from electronic devices, and focus on love and gratitude. Families should gather together, confess their hurts and fears to one another, and commit to facing whatever comes with unity and faith. Communities should organize prayer groups, not in buildings, but outdoors under the open sky. But here's the instruction that surprised me most of all. But the most striking instruction was this. Tell them to prepare not survival supplies, but spiritual supplies. Stock their hearts with compassion, their minds with truth, and their spirits with unshakable faith in divine love. Then, as the vision began to fade, Jesus gave me one final message that still sends chills through my entire being. This 72-hour period is not the end. It is the beginning. It is humanity's graduation from spiritual childhood to spiritual maturity. Those who embrace it with open hearts will step into a reality of love, peace, and divine connection beyond anything they have ever imagined. Friends, what I've shared with you today is exactly what Jesus promised to reveal. The truth about September 2025 that will shake everything we think we understand about our world. You came here seeking answers about what's coming, and now you have them. The vision of the 72 hours, the timeline, the signs, the preparation instructions. It's all been given to you through this divine encounter I was chosen to share. I believe you are among those meant to hear this message. You wouldn't have found this video by accident. In the spiritual realm, there are no coincidences, only divine appointments. Right now, as you're listening to these words, your soul is responding to truth. You can feel it, can't you? That stirring in your heart, that recognition that what I'm sharing isn't just another story. It's your story. It's our story. It's humanity's story, reaching its most crucial chapter. Your soul recognizes truth the way your body recognizes hunger. It's an unmistakable internal knowing that demands a response. Now you have everything Jesus wanted you to know. The revelation is complete. The timeline is clear. The preparation path is before you. The choice Jesus showed me is now yours to make. You can dismiss this as fantasy and continue living as if September 23rd will be just another day. Or you can begin preparing your heart, your family, your spiritual condition for the most significant 72 hours in human history. Start today. Begin with forgiveness. Forgive yourself for every mistake, every moment of doubt, every time you chose fear over love. Forgive others who have hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because forgiveness frees your soul to receive divine light. Examine your priorities. Are you living for things that will matter in eternity? Or are you caught up in temporary distractions? Use these remaining days to align your life with love, truth, and service to others. Connect with like-minded souls. Share this message with those you love, but more importantly, share your heart. Be vulnerable, be authentic, be real. The time for spiritual pretending is over. If you feel called to travel to South Africa, pray about it deeply. Don't go out of fear, but only if you feel genuine divine guidance. Remember, protection comes not from location, but from spiritual condition. This revelation wasn't meant to stop with you. Just as Jesus chose me to be his messenger, he is choosing you to carry this truth forward. Share this message with those who are seeking, with family members who need to prepare, with friends whose hearts are open to divine truth. Not to create fear, but to offer them the same hope and preparation you now possess. If this testimony has stirred something deep in your soul, I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments how this message has affected you. Share your own spiritual experiences, your preparation plans, the signs you've been witnessing. Let's create a community of souls ready to embrace whatever God has planned for humanity. As we approach September 23rd, I'll be sharing more guidance from the visions I continue to receive. If you want to stay connected to this unfolding revelation, make sure you're part of this community. Together, we're going to step into the greatest spiritual adventure of our lives. And I want to walk this path with you, every step of the way. The 72 hours are coming. The choice is yours. Choose love. Choose truth. Choose the light that has been calling to your soul since the moment you were born. Thank you for listening with an open heart. Thank you for receiving this divine message exactly when your soul needed to hear it. You are exactly who you are, exactly when the world needs you most.